Hello, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, I have a very well known figure in the 361 area, and this is Matt Rodd. He is a country singer, songwriter. You know what? I'll let you introduce yourself, Matt. What kind of stuff do you have for us today?
What's going on, guys? My name is Matt. Yeah, just like Adrian was saying, I am from Alice, Texas, and I'm a rapper. No, I'm just kidding, bro. I am a country singer. I like to call myself a little comedian too while I'm on stage because I like to throw a little stuff here and there. But yeah, I'm like 23 years old, and that's really all you got. That's really not a lot to know about me,
Oh, there's definitely a lot more. It's just a matter of getting the right questions to bring it out.
for
So,
sure.
I like to ask this with every musician that I talk to is how did your musical journey even start from the very beginning?
So I was like 5 years old, and like growing up, like from what I can remember, like I've always like knew my grandpa as like a musical legend, like around Alice, Texas. His name's Rocky Godinez. He's the Honolulu Hall of Famer for the keyboards and the accordion, and he's been playing. He's had his own band since he was like 14, 15, and he's just been just doing his own thing till now. You know what I mean? Whenever I was like five, it saw my grandpa singing, and I looked at my mom and I said, I want to be exactly like him. You know what I mean? I want to be just like my grandpa. I want to go perform and all that stuff. She was like, all right, bet. So whenever I was five, we kind of just locked in. You know what I mean? We started, my grandpa started teaching me how to sing. I started playing the guitar at 7. And from like 5 years old till probably about like 16, I was doing this thing with my grandpa and my sister and like my other cousins, where it was like this ministry, this church thing. Like it was called the SWAT team, and it was Servants with a Testimony. It was a little acronym. And basically, what we would do is we would bring church to the people that couldn't go to church, like nursing homes, hospitals, retirement homes, and all that stuff. People that couldn't go, we would go bring like the word of God over there to them. You know what I mean? And I did that till, like I said, like I was like 16 years old, and I always liked country music. I remember whenever I was like maybe preteens, I had watched a video of George Strait singing "The Chair" in a sold out crowd, and I was like, dude, that's exactly what I want to do. Like the way that those people were screaming his music back to him, it was like absolutely insane. So whenever I was 16, I told my grandpa and I told my mom, I said, hey, I want to do some country music. I don't think not that I don't like the church music or anything like that, but I was kind of growing out of it. You know what I mean? I said like I want to take it a little like a step further. So I said I wanted to do some country music, and they're like, all right, let's try it. So I was like 16 years old, and my mom, she's my manager still, but she was managing me back then. And we went to shingles of places, a lot of places, and everybody would be like, nah, 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 nah. And it was kind of getting like discouraging. And after a couple of no's that I finally got a yes here in Alice at Texas Brick Oven. The Joslins over there, some dope people. I played there like almost every single weekend for about a year. And like that's where I really kind of honed in and kind of figured out who Matt Rod was. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, I kind of went from Matthew Rodriguez to Matt Rod. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. So, country music, that was playing around a lot as a kid, or is that something you found on your own?
Nah, we're a big like country music family for sure. Like growing up, my mom had all the Jason Aldean like CDs and everything, like growing up and everything. So we would just listen to that on repeat, like album after album. So we would just listen to country music, and we would have like CDs that would have like little playlists, like, back in the day where you'd make the burn a CD with like different songs and everything. So we would have some of those just with like oldies and stuff like that. And so we grew up on country music big. They also listen to like Spanish music and shit like that, but I really wasn't like into like I like Spanish music, but not to like sing it and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
No, I get it completely. I to this day I really don't care for the traditional Tejano music. I love like reggaeton and shit like that, like that uplifting stuff, the Bad
For
Bunny
sure.
type. That stuff's cool to me. It's just the traditional, the harmonicas, accordions, like I'm good, bro. I'll pass on
Yeah.
that scene.
That's funny.
Yeah, girls ain't shaking ass to no accordions.
That's crazy.
So you grew up around country. How did that even work? Because you're somewhere in your 20s, right?
Yeah, I'm 23.
Okay, so 23. We grew up in the age of hardcore, hip hop, rap music, and R&B. So how did you not stray away from your roots that you grew up with to go into
Don't
a genre that you probably shouldn't have even dabbled with?
don't get me wrong, dog. Like I'm a country musician, but if we go in the car right now, like I'm more than likely gonna be playing rap music or something other than country. Yeah, I mean, like I'll play country music in my car. Like if I hear a song that I want to learn, I'll just have it on repeat and just like listen to it. Or like whenever we go to Nashville next month, I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But whenever we go to Nashville next month, that drive's pretty long, so I'll just kind of put my country music playlist because it's the longest one, and so I just don't won't have to worry about music. We can just look at the map and everything. But yeah, I like to listen to rap a lot for sure. But I mean, I knew that I wasn't gonna be a rapper. Like at the end of the day, you know what I mean? So like country music was something that I knew was gonna like stick with me for sure.
Have you ever tried to rap?
Nah, I mean, maybe after a few twists, I'll try to like freestyle over something, but it ain't nothing crazy, dog. That's like whenever I'm feeling it, you know what I mean?
For sure, for sure. I used to do a lot of rap music, and I think I kind of fell into that stigma that you probably feel. You probably just feel like it's not your lane, or you probably just don't look like a rapper or
Hmm.
something like that. I say you should try it, whether you post it or not. It's
Yeah,
pretty fun just to get the pen and paper, put a lot of words together, or just hear a beat and just go at it. You know what I mean? Because music is
yeah,
art and it's self expression. So I definitely think you should dabble in it for sure.
for
But
sure.
country music, that's basically where your home is in your heart, because that's something you can just do naturally. Is there ever gonna be a period where you change genres again, or are you always gonna be a country artist?
No, honestly, like I tell people all the time that I feel like God put me on this earth to play country music and to make people like laugh and have a good time. You know what I mean? Like I don't think I was put on this earth to do anything else. You know what I mean? This is what like I was meant for this. You know what I mean? And like this is one of those things that like I won't ever stop until this shit happens. You know, I don't care if I'm 45 years old and just barely making it. You know what I mean? Like this is a goal that this is a vision that I've had. It's like that I'm just waiting for the vision to become reality.
I feel that, and from what I can tell, it looks like you're actually working towards it. You're supposed to be on some type of tour right now, right?
Yeah, well, I play every single weekend, but I did sign a 1 year deal with a company out in Nashville, and it's like a branding contract. And basically, what it is they're kind of helping me push my name out. So in November, we went to Nashville to go and write some music. Big shout out to my boy Alex Dooley out in Nashville, Tennessee. He helped me write three dope songs. We wrote three songs out there. We wrote one for my grandpa, kind of like thanking him for everything. And then that one's called Man of Steel. We wrote one called The Only Drug. And it's basically about how her love's the only drug that gets you high. And you've been trying to find like other addictive shit and you just can't find that same kind of high because her love's the only drug that gets you high. And then we have this like badass song. It's called Behind. It's about how you're going to leave like all the pictures, your memories behind. You're going to start over new. And yeah, so we're going to go next month, hopefully, God willing, to Nashville to go and record some music. And after that, they'll pick out of the three which one they want to release as a first single. And then we'll take it like nationwide. We're going to be releasing it to about 20,000 different radio stations across the US. We're going to put it like on Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, all that crazy stuff, bro.
That's dope, man. I'm glad because I know
It's dope,
since
dope, bro.
we were in high school, actually, that's when I first started seeing your name. So I know
Hmm.
you've been doing this for quite a while. So
For
it's
sure.
good to see that all this stuff is actually coming into fruition. And I
For
actually have a
sure.
mutual contact from Nashville. His name is Dylan Brecky.
Okay.
He was on tour with Drake Bell. I don't know if you remember that show or not, for Drake and
Yeah.
Josh.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so Drake Bell was on this big tour, and Dylan Brecky's his longtime good friend plus his tour manager, and he actually opened up for a lot of the shows. And he actually just moved to Nashville recently. We did a podcast, but unfortunately, I couldn't let it air because too much stuff was said. So it just goes against Hollywood stuff,
Yeah, for
and
sure.
just everything has to be confidential. But he's in Nashville, and I know he's real big into the music industry, and he has a lot of connections. He knows a lot of people you can collaborate with. So I'll definitely, after this podcast is over, I'll shoot him over your information and see if maybe next time you're in Nashville, you and him can get together. And who knows, he's a country singer himself, so maybe you might get a
That's dope.
collaboration.
Heck yeah, bro. I'm always down to meet new people, like always down to network. You know what I mean? It's always good to know. people because you know what I mean you never know whenever you need that contact. Like, hey, I need you. Hey, you free this day? I need a guitar player or a drummer or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's always good to have like a lot of contacts. You know what I mean?
For
But
sure.
like with this country music stuff, bro, like I think it's like not that it's like my turn to win, but I went through the like the hard shit, I guess you could say, like growing up. You know what I mean? So now it's like a lot more chill. You know what I mean? Like life's a whole lot better. Like back in the day, I was getting like hella picked on and all that shit because I was doing music. I would go sing for a church whenever growing up, and people didn't like that stuff. So I remember like fifth and sixth grade, whenever I was in DeBose, I was getting thrown in trash cans and shit like that. It was crazy, bro.
You
Like,
got thrown in trash cans?
dude, lockers, trash cans, crazy shit, dude. Like, I would come home smelling like shit, dude, and my mom would be like, "What the hell happened?" And I just have some crazy excuse, you know what I mean? And be like, whatever. And then kind of whenever I got like tired of it, that's whenever I told my mom like, "Hey, I kind of want to move." So my seventh grade year, we went to Al Dulce, and I was like, "Hell yeah, dude, this place is dope. I love Al Dulce and all this stuff." And I started doing the country music, and my mom worked 8 to 5, so my mom would have to drop us off at like 7:15 because it was all the way in Al Dulce, and she worked on the other side of Alice. So she would drop us off hella early and pick us up hella late. Like school would let out at like 4, and she would get out at 5, so she wouldn't be able to get there till like 5:30. So before school, after school, I would just have my guitar out, just practicing and stuff like that. And it's crazy, bro, because I had like coaches like looking at me, and because I quit all sports going into my freshman year, and I said I'm just gonna focus on my music. And I remember I told the athletic director, I ain't gonna name drop or nothing like that. I told the athletic director at the time, I was like, hey, I'm thinking about quitting football because I want to be a country musician. And he said, if you quit everything now, if you quit football now, you'll quit everything in life. And I said, you can hate me now, coach, but you'll be my fan later. You know what I mean? He said, just get the hell out of my office. I was like, yes, sir. So like after that, I kind of felt like not that I had I was like a highlighted person, but like it was like easy for them like to come at me. So they'd be like, what are you doing, dog? Like put the guitar up type deal. Like you're a small town kid with big city dreams, dog. Like what are you doing? And I just kind of let that be fuel to my fire. You know what I mean? It kind of like drives me to be who I'm gonna be one day.
No, that's definitely small town syndrome right there
For
because
sure.
I've noticed because I live in San Antonio now. I've been out here since about 2019, 2020, somewhere around there. And what I've noticed, like from a big city perspective to a small town, is in a small town, everyone is so hateful. And
Hmm.
they just believe that nobody can do anything outside of that town. And it blows my mind, bro. Because
For
there's so
sure.
many stories of successful stories of people who come from small towns or come from way less than what the 361 is, and
Hmm.
they made it out. Um, what's that band? Shattered Sun. They came from Alice, Texas. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And they're huge right now. They're
Yeah, for
not
sure.
Metallica or nothing, but they're huge.
Yeah, they're
And
gigging.
yeah, and it just blows my mind that people in those small towns just cannot fathom that someone wants to do something outside of stay in this little place forever, work your 9 to 5, buy some property, and just watch Netflix after work until you die.
Yeah, for real type deal.
Yeah,
I
just they're
mean,
quick to shut
it
down
is
dreams.
crazy, bro. Like, I mean, now that you say that, because like whenever I went to Nashville, like everybody that I went like around, like going towards Broadway, like I would talk to random people, and like like they'd be like, "What are you doing here?" And I tell them what I was doing there, and like everyone wants to see you win over there. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to see you win, and it's kind of like here in Alice, I can't even get gigs here in Alice because like no one wants to show love. You know what I mean? Like I gotta
Nope.
go outside of Alice, like to Kingsville, Corpus, Port A, like Freer. I gotta go like around Alice, which is crazy. You'd think that like oh this guy from Alice is trying to do something with his music. Like let's try to help him out. But I mean it's cool. Yeah, I mean it's cool.
There's a bar down 281 in Alice. It's called El Rinconcito, and
Hmm.
that place, I don't know if you reached out to them yet, but they let me and my homies put on a show one time, and it was all rap music too. So
Okay.
they were cool. They let me put on a show. I definitely reach out to them. It's a good.
Riconcito's right next to my crib.
There you go. It's a good sized venue, and they have a good stage. So I mean, if they let a whole rap music set, which is in Alice, they for some reason, owners, they do not want rap music in their establishments at all. They only want the Hano music. And I'm like, dude, like
Dude,
there's
that's
other
facts.
genres in the town that actually want to be heard. Like it's not just the Hano music. But that's another story about that town. We could literally talk for 3 hours about how that town is stuck in their ways, but there's so many other things we could talk about that are more beneficial.
For sure.
So your music with Nashville, right? That's that well, not Nashville entirely, but Tennessee, that state. You are branching out over there and you're already having some type of success that you didn't get in Texas. So with that being said, do you feel like this is just the start of a domino effect? Once you get this 1 year deal out the way, it's just so many more doors are gonna open?
I mean, and like whenever I was talking to the guy that had signed me, um, we were talking and like he basically said like after this 1 year deal, like we could do whatever. You know what I mean? There's not really like I can't really talk too much about it, but uh basically like at the end of the deal, um like here's like a little example, like say, oh, your single did pretty decent. You have A, B, C, and D record labels that want to sign you, hear them out, see what they want to offer. And if you don't like anything that they offer, then let's brand for another year. You know what I mean? So like these guys are here to like help you type deal. They're not like, oh, you didn't do good, like you're gonna get the boot. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna do like, okay, let's brand for another year. Let's figure out what we did wrong and let's fix it. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Yeah. And like we're having and it is I wouldn't say that we're having great like success, I guess you could say, like with that word. But I mean it's good, bro, because like a lot of the people that are signed with this company, by now they would have already told them which one they want to record as their first single, and you just go to Nashville and record that one song. And they've emailed us on multiple occasions saying that they're kind of stuck with all three of them. They don't know which one they want to record, and that more than likely we're probably just going to record all three of them and see which one comes out the best in the studio, which I think is pretty dope. Yeah, I mean that means that we wrote some dope music whenever we're in Nashville, and I mean that feels pretty good. But once we release, I mean, I would hope that it's like a domino effect that like everything just starts popping off. But I mean, even if it doesn't, yeah, I mean, back to square one, we'll just figure out where we messed up and get back at it. You know what I mean? Like I have my gigs around town. You know what I mean? But I mean, just like I told my mom, one of my big goals this year is to play in big cities at least uh like 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? Or like 3 or 4 big cities like Austin, Dallas, Houston, like around those parts. Because that's where like the country music's popping off. I've played in like Arkansas whenever my brother was coaching up there. We went to go visit him for a week, so I did like 2 or 3 gigs up there in that week. I played there in Nashville, like just like hanging out and stuff like that. In Missouri as well. So like I've been playing, you know what I mean? But I want to get into those big cities that I grew up knowing, you know what I mean? San Antonio, Austin. I played on Sixth Street, bro. Like that's like a bucket list thing. You know what I mean? So like that's the next goal, starting to get into those bigger towns.
I think it definitely will happen, especially because country music has grown in popularity over the last,
Mm.
I would say, year or two. And you got people that are outside of that genre coming in. Like, even Paul Wall did a country song.
Yeah, I did. I saw the one with the Big X and Bailey Zimmerman too.
Yeah, and
Everyone's
who would
doing
have ever
country
thought
music.
Paul Wall would be on a country verse? That makes no sense to me. But he hit that shit. We got Beyonce doing a country album. Machine Gun Kelly just did a country song with Jelly Roll.
Yeah,
Jelly
that
Roll
one's
is
fire.
another big factor on why country music is actually popping again. And a lot of people don't know Jelly Roll was actually a rapper before he was a country singer.
Yeah,
And it blows my mind how a rapper switched to country and it just took off.
for
Like
sure.
that
Have you seen
really
the
blows my mind.
documentary, dog?
No, I haven't watched the documentary, but I need to.
Yeah, that Jelly Roll documentary is crazy, dude. Like whenever I watched it, dude, one thing that I took from that documentary is they were interviewing his wife during one of the gigs, and she's like, look at this." And I think he was singing like "Save Me" or "I'm Not Okay," like one of those like heartfelt songs, and everybody lights out, crying, and everything. Like she was like, "People don't go to Jelly Roll concerts to have a good time; they go to Jelly Roll concerts to heal." And that's what I feel about whenever I sing my music, especially like my sad music and the stuff that I sing about, like I'm healing myself on stage, you know what I mean? I'm trying to close up wounds that are still in the heart. and people come up to me saying like, dang, like you really put a lot of feeling into that, and it makes me feel that song. And I'm like, hell yeah, bro. Like that's dope. And that's one of my main goals, is for people not just to have a good time, but whenever it's time for that heartfelt moment, like you can heal at my concerts as well. You know what I mean?
So country music to you is more than just music. It's like a passion. There's a
Bro,
lot of emotion to it.
this is my life, dog. Like I don't know anything else but this. Like, and now I work there at Hibbett in Alice, and whenever I'm not working, I'm trying to do what I can to make myself bigger, you know what I mean? Or trying to get my name out there. And whether it's posting on Facebook or something like that. I'm gonna start posting on TikTok a lot more. That's where I'm lacking for sure. But I'm definitely gonna start I gotta start doing my thing. And whenever I'm not working, I'm just kind of grinding. You know what I mean? This is all that I am. This is kind of all that I know, type deal.
For sure. Quick little tangent. You said you work at Hibbett. My homeboy Gus works at Hibbett right now. Gus is
I'm
cool,
just
man.
playing, bro. Gus is cool, right? That was a crazy ass face.
Gus is cool as
Nah,
shit,
Gus
man.
is Gus is dope, bro. Gus is really dope. Gus
He
got
was
me into the
actually
cologne game, bro.
yeah. He's pretty knowledgeable at that stuff. He was actually my second guest on the podcast.
Yeah, I watched it, dog.
I wanted to go back and forth a little bit more with him, but he's he's the type that just gets louder whenever it's time to debate something. So I was like, for a podcast, this is not great, but
Yeah, for sure.
he's definitely a character, man. Really good people. He says he's a liar, all right? He does lie, but he's a genuine ass dude. For real, for real.
Yeah, no, he's dope, bro. Gus is dope. I saw your short with his podcast, and whenever he was like, I got 5,000 a charity game, and I was like, bro, that's insane. That's funny as hell.
Straight menace to society,
For
brother. Like
real.
that's crazy.
That's funny.
But
Shout out to Gus though, bro.
for real, shout out Gus. His TikTok's pretty cool too. If y'all want to go check that out, I'll put the link in the description. To get back into like more of the country side of things, you are very passionate about country music, and it means a lot to you. As to other country artists who do this genre, I mean, they pour their soul into these songs. That's why it's like a kind of like a cult fan base when it comes to country in general. So, how do you feel about these new people coming into the country space? Like Beyonce, for example, her last country album. What did you think about that as a country artist?
Um, I mean, obviously, I don't hate on the fact that she's trying to switch up genres. I just don't think that, like, I just don't think that that's like traditional, not even I wouldn't even say traditional country. Like, I don't even want to say that that ain't traditional country, because the type of music that I sing isn't traditional country. Like, I don't go for that fiddle playing country, or like, I'm more of like a rock country, like a Coetzel, Treaty Oak Revival. My favorite country singer is Colby Cooper. You know what I mean? Like those are people that I idolize and I want to be like. You know what I mean? Kind of like that rock country type deal. And so I can't even hate, you know what I mean? Because I mean she won a Grammy, bro. You know what I mean? Like she won like
That
at
was
the
the
end,
biggest bullshit of a Grammy I've ever seen on television, brother.
dude, I mean, don't get me wrong. Is it country music? No, it's not country music. But I mean you can't hate the player, you gotta hate the game. You know what I mean?
Shit, her and Jay Z own the game, bro. But that's
For real.
another conversation.
That's a
I can go 5 hours deep about that one.
yeah, bro. That is crazy, bro.
I'm not even a country fan, bro. But I try listening to the album because I'm always a big type of I want to try to understand the trend pretty much. So I listened to the album. I think I got like 3, 4 songs deep, and I was like, I don't understand this. I don't
Yeah.
understand why this is considered a good album. I don't understand why this is considered country. Because I listened to country growing up because my parents, they always played it. I was never really a big fan, but I was always around it. So I know how it's supposed to sound. That shit was like, I don't know, bro. Like it
It's
was
like
against the
she ain't
grain.
meant for it. Like it's not that she ain't meant for it, but like her voice, like the way that her voice is, she's like she has her own lane. You know what I mean? Like it's cool to tap in a little bit, but I mean, let's not make a second country album. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, like, she experimented and she had success. So unfortunately, because she has success, she's probably gonna do a sequel to it.
for
Which
sure.
is, I mean, if you won a Grammy, I mean, how can you complain against that? But I've noticed that with different artists all the time. Like even Machine Gun Kelly, right? He was a straight rapper, and then he went into this whole punk rock phase.
Hmm.
And The first album was actually pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. The second one was like, "Okay, you're just cash grabbing at this point." And then now he's trying to dip into the countryside. I don't know if he's gonna do a whole project about country, but he's dipped his toes in there, and it wasn't bad. It's just how much of this is just people actually caring about the genre, and how much of this is just a cash grab because it's popular right now?
So like with the whole Machine Gun Kelly and Jelly Roll thing, I mean they're homeboys, you know what I mean? So like I think that like don't be surprised if Jelly Roll like gets featured on the Machine Gun Kelly album or something like that. You know what I mean? It's like one of those things like they're homeboys, so they're gonna like how Morgan Wallen and Lil Durk, you know what I mean? After that whole deal with Morgan Wallen, like Lil Durk reached out to him and said like, "Hey bro, like let's talk." And like they talked it out, and like Morgan Wallen like just basically said like he was drunk that night, didn't mean it, like it was stupid of him. And they became good friends, and now they have 5 songs together type deal. Yeah, I mean like Morgan Wallen and Lil Durk be like in the studio like they're homeboys. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Which
So
is crazy. It's a
yeah,
crazy combination.
some of them are cash grabs of like for sure. Some of them it's like if you know the story behind it, like you could tell that it's like a heartfelt type deal. And then like that song, like the Machine Gun Kelly and the Jelly Roll one, like that's like a dope song about like just healing, you know what I mean? And like that kind of fits um Machine Gun Kelly's like little style, because if you hear the song, like it had no type of country feel to it. That was more just like hey, we're just gonna get deep real quick. You know what I mean? And I thought it was pretty dope. I thought that whole Jelly Roll album was dope.
Yeah, Jelly Roll's definitely he's definitely a big figure in this industry right now, and it's cool because I'm not a country guy at all, but when I heard him, I didn't like automatically want to shut it off. It was like, okay, what is this? Who is this guy? And I gave it a chance. Now, am I gonna sit around in my car and play Jelly Roll? Probably not. But if I hear him, it's like, oh, okay, that's him. That's what he does. And it's kind of weird how music is so subjective because I can fully comprehend that Jelly Roll is a great artist. It's just it won't make my rotation for some reason,
For
even though
sure.
his music is good. I don't understand how music can have an effect on people like that, but it's really interesting how it just make it like the frequencies of it just make you react a little different than most people.
Hmm.
And that's really all it is. It's all frequency based and it just hits the ear different for everybody.
For sure,
But
bro.
with that being said, your album, right? Have you had a first album release or are you currently in the progress of dropping a first official album?
I mean, whenever I was like 17, I was like a senior in high school. Like I I had recorded like something in like the studio, and it was just like on CDs. It wasn't like on Apple Music or anything like that, because I just knew that it wasn't going to be like I knew that it wasn't going to be it, but I just wanted to have something on recording. You know what I mean? I don't know why I did. I just did. So I went to Trinity recording studios. Shout out to Mr. Jim Wilkin, great dude. And we recorded, it was more of like a Christian album too. Like it was like a lot of Christian based songs, and I put like 2 of my own originals in there. But no, I really haven't, like this single is gonna be the first thing that I actually release. You know what I mean? And I still think, and it's pretty dope because I haven't released any type of music, but like homies or people that have came to my shows before that like I kind of know a little bit, like they'll come up to me and be like, "Hey bro, play that one song you wrote that talks about this and that." And I'm like, "Yo, that like these guys remember, you know what I mean? Like that's dope. Like I haven't even released music and these guys remember, oh, like that's Matt's song, and I know that he talks about this and that, and that's why I like it." But I mean, whenever we release, that'll be definitely the first thing that we put out.
So how long have you been doing music for entirely?
Almost 20 years. In 2 years it'll be 20 years, so 18 years.
That's pretty insane to me that you went that long and you're barely now about to release a first official song.
Yeah,
How did you not get tempted just to drop something? I mean, especially during the SoundCloud phase, everyone was just dropping shit.
bro. I mean, the way that I was still being molded. You know what I mean? I mean, I feel now I'm kind of becoming that final, like my grandpa is like a potter. You know what I mean? Like to put it as an example, he's like a potter, and he's like he was slowly molding me into that perfect piece, like as perfect as it could be for Matt Rudd. You know what I mean? I just felt like it wasn't the right time because I was still being molded. I was still learning. I feel now or here soon, like the final piece is coming. You know what I mean? And once I hit that like final piece, like, you know what I mean, that's whenever it's time to show off. You know what I mean? Show off everything that he molded. You know what I mean? Show off that piece that he made. You know what I mean? So I just want to make sure it's the right time before I just go and release something that isn't what I want it to sound like. You know what I mean?
That's so dope that you have the patience and the willpower to just tell yourself like hold off a little bit. Because when I did music, man, I was thirsty. As soon as I recorded something, I was like straight mix and master, and then I rushed to mix and master because I was just so eager to put something out. And I would release something, and then like in the moment, I'm like, this is dope. 3 days later, I'm like, this is shit. Why did I put this out? And then I'm like, damn, well, people already heard it. I can't just delete it now. So
For
I'm like,
sure.
so I give you credit because as an ex artist, it's so hard to create something that you know, well, at least you feel is really good, and then not put it out for people to hear.
For
So
sure.
the
And I
fact
got
that you
like,
waited this long is cool.
and I have about like, I mean, like this was just like a guess, maybe like 40 songs. And I would say out of those 40 songs, probably like 20 of them are pretty good. You know what I mean? Like whenever I showed like I showed like 8 songs to the songwriter that helped me write these songs in Nashville because he said like I want to hear like the kind of music that you write so I can get that vibe. So I played like 5 or 6 songs for this guy, and this guy's been writing in Nashville for 23 years, as long as I've been alive. You know what I mean? And like he told me, he was like, honestly, bro, your songs are well written. You have a dang good like story to every song that you write. He said the only thing that I would tell you is just like change up the rhyme scheme like every now and then. Because he said that he noticed that like my rhyming was like the same in like a lot of the songs, like the way that like it was like A B type deal. Yeah, I mean kind of like just switch it up a little bit. And he said, but other than that, like you write like dang good music. And I thought that was freaking awesome because if this guy's been writing in Nashville for 23 years, this guy knows people. You know what I mean? This guy was telling me that his kid goes to school with Keith Whitley's granddaughter, like Keith Whitley's son, like his daughter goes to like the same school as like his kid. So like that, like he always sees Keith Whitley's son, and like that's just like a normal thing in Nashville. I was like, bro, that's crazy. Yeah, I mean that's wild.
That's dope, bro. As far as like the songwriting process for you, how would you describe your process is?
Honestly, bro, it just comes to me, bro. Like I couldn't tell you like, yeah, when I get off this car right now, I'm gonna write a song because that ain't how it goes. I probably haven't written a song in maybe 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Just because like I wait for like the inspiration. I have a bunch of unfinished music too that like a lot of times whenever I'm like on downtime, like not doing nothing, I'll just look through them and just see if I get any more inspiration out of it. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of like choruses that are just choruses. There's no verses or anything like that to it. That someday I'll come back to them and finish them. You know what I mean? Because that's usually what it happens. I just finished a song maybe about like a month ago, and it's called Through, and I had just the chorus, and I had that chorus for like 2 years. And I finally a month ago kind of like went through it, and I'm like, oh shoot, this is dope. And then I started like playing it, and I was like, you know what, like let's see what we can do with this. And I ended up just finishing it. You know what I mean? So it's more like a like how you said, like staying patient with it. Like I ain't trying to rush through a song because I want to make sure that it makes sense. I want to make sure that there's a story to it and that it has some sort of feeling. You know what I mean? Like I write a bunch of music that is like heartbreaking music. I write a bunch of music where I cuss and I say like fuck you or sticking the finger out, and like I just want to make sure that there's a meaning to it. You know what I mean?
For sure. So if you write about a lot of heartbreak, what kind of experiences have you been through where you would write about stuff like that?
That's crazy that you say that, dog, because like I really didn't have my first like girlfriend until I was like a senior in high school. Like growing up, I always liked that slower music, you know what I mean, to where you could listen to the words, you know what I mean, you could actually process it, and then you have like a lead guitar, you know what I mean, that you can like really like feel. And majority of the time, the slow songs are sad songs, you know what I mean, they're not really love songs. I mean, there are love songs that are slow, but majority of the time they are sad songs. So I think just like listening to like that slow music a lot and like really like enjoying it like my first like three songs that I wrote were slow heartbreak songs, and I've never even been in a fucking relationship. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't say that I've gone through crazy things. I have gone through some like crazy situations to where like that next day or that night I just freaking write a song real quick. You know what I mean? And I remember I ain't gonna name drop. You know what I mean? We don't name drop around here. That's crazy. But a couple years ago, I headlined the county fair in Alice, there here in Jim Wells, and the day before, I take someone out, and it's supposed to be like a little date type deal. Long story short, I find out that this person invites another guy there, and they were texting for a little bit, and I was like, oh shoot. So whenever I kind of confronted the situation, she was like chilling about it. She's like, yeah, like hell yeah. And I was like, hell nah. So I gave her a little side hug. I said, you be safe on the way home. Take care of yourself. Good night. And I just walked away. And I was like weeked out, right? I was all sad and stuff. And I told my bandmates, I said, I'm gonna write a song. I said, and tomorrow we're gonna sing it, like in front of everybody. So we're gonna practice it like a couple times during rehearsal, but we're gonna play it. So I stayed up till like 3 in the morning that night, and I wrote this song called I Hope You're Happy. And it's a dope, fast-paced song, and it's so badass. And at the end of the song, like you do like a ba ba ba, and I hope you're happy. You stick the middle finger out, and everybody went crazy. That was the first time I had ever played it live, and I played it in one of the bigger venues that I played at. You know what I mean? County Fair in Alice, Texas. Like there's a lot of people there. You know what I mean? And whenever I did that, everyone went freaking crazy. So after the gig, I told my manager, I was like, we got to make a shirt with a middle finger and it says, I hope you're happy. So we ended up doing that. And it's one of our best selling things on our website right now.
That's dope, man. If you don't
Yeah.
mind me asking, where's that girl at now in life?
I don't know, doc. I don't know, buddy. I cut ties, bro.
You better than me. I'm petty, bro. I'll keep tabs just to make sure you're
Yeah.
not doing good.
Bro, if I keep tabs, bro, I'm a lover boy, dog. I get all weeked out, bro.
Oh, I feel that. I feel that. I just get
Yeah.
petty. I'm like Gus, bro. We gonna make sure you have a downfall.
Dude.
You can have a come up, it's just after I'm done with mine, you know.
Yeah, nah, I got you, bro. Nah, I mean, obviously, like like I tried to like talk to her a little bit, but I just knew that you do it one time, probably gonna do it again. You know what I mean? So it's just best just to get out of the situation. You know what
I
I mean?
completely agree. But as
But
an
I mean,
artist,
talk to me,
no,
bro.
you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say like I'm not like obviously like I am trying to look for someone, but I mean I'm not in a hurry to find someone. You know what I mean? Obviously, like the main goal is like to make it in this music, take care of my family, take care of the ones that have supported me since day one. And if I have someone at the time, then take care of my significant other like as well. You know what I mean? But if I don't have that significant other, I ain't gonna be tweaking. You know what I mean? I haven't had a girlfriend probably in like 5 years. You know what I mean? So like I'm chilling. You know what I mean? Like being single for a little while, kind of like you learn how to kind of like love yourself and know like the good things about yourself and the bad things about yourself and kind of fix yourself as a human type deal.
I wish I could relate, man, only because I've always had a partner. And I think the longest I've ever been single was about a year. But even at that, I wasn't entirely single because I was in a lot of talking stages with other people. So I wouldn't say I was single, but yeah, I don't know. I've always just been with someone. Like I've never not shared my life with someone.
For sure.
The bad thing about that is when as a man, like you start going through a lot of trials and tribulations and you're trying to figure out things and there's a lot of lows, you know what I mean?
For sure.
I met a lot of people who were I would say good. I would say good people. And because I was going through such a low time that subconsciously I didn't realize it at the time or at that age, I was kind of piggybacking off them to bring me back up, you know? And
Okay.
it sucks because now that I'm older and I understand how the cycle actually works, I was attached to this person who was very up here and I was super low. And I would pretty much hang out with them to the point where I'm coming back up, but the whole time while I'm rising, they're being dumped down to where I was. And you end up hurting a lot of good people that way. in return, those people end up doing that to someone else on accident because subconsciously you're just doing it. So I applaud you for not rushing and taking your time to get involved with someone else because a lot of people in today's time, they rush that process and they don't truly understand who they are or what they're trying to do or what they want to do.
Hmm.
So kudos to you, man, for
Oh yeah, bro, I
sticking it
appreciate that.
out and figuring out and focusing on your career pretty much. Cause I'll tell you right now, brother, once you get involved with a really good woman that you really want to be with and you start having kids, all that stuff is completely out the window, bro. I
For
had
sure,
to
bro.
take a 5 or 6 year hiatus from whatever I wanted to do because just, not saying kids are like a burden, but they definitely get in the way of what you're trying to do, especially if you're trying to maintain a relationship.
For
And
sure.
that's why it's super important to get with someone who understands what you're trying to do. That way, there's no conflict on that. My wife right now, she's freaking amazing, bro. She lets me do my streaming, I do my gaming content, I'm on this podcast. I'm constantly on this computer editing clips and shit all day.
Okay.
And I have this job now where I'm working overnight. So I'm like constantly just busy attending to something else. And she never gives me nothing about it, man.
Yeah, that's
I
dope, bro. Shout out to her.
At the age of 27, man, I finally have it all put together.
For sure.
It's cool. It's the cool thing about creating anything, especially in the field that you're doing, is you can do that forever. You could be 75 years old, bro, and still be doing shows if you really want to. I mean,
Yeah,
George
for
Strait was
sure.
doing it.
For sure.
So
Yeah,
that's
no, I
that's
feel you
dope.
on that.
So, what is your end goal in the next within 5 years, you would say? 5 years from now, where is Matt Rod supposed to be in your mind?
I mean, bro, in my mind, dude, I mean, just like I'm going back to like the Nashville thing. I had that first interview with Mr. Greg, and the first question he asked me, like he asked me for my name and everything, and first question he asked me, he's like, so if you could snap your finger, like, and everything right could happen, like, what would be the life of Matt Rudd? And he said, is it a red Ferrari? Is it Lamborghinis? What is it? And I said, honestly, bro, I said, just as long as I could take care of my family and the people around me. Like, I'm a big family guy. You know what I mean? Like, my family comes before everything, even my country music at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like, these are the guys that have been with me since day one. You know what I mean? Instead of telling me that I was crazy as hell for wanting to learn how to sing and play guitar, you know what I mean? Just went for it, just like I wanted to go for it. And it's going to pay off one of these days. And I just want to be able to take care of my family and the music part of it. I just want people singing my songs back to me, bro. I don't care if it's for 50 people. I don't care if it's for 50,000 people. If I if I'm in a room with 50 people and all those guys know my music and they're singing my songs back to me and they can understand and feel what I'm trying to feel, you know what I mean, throughout the gig, and that makes my heart full. You know what I mean? Obviously, I would love to go sell out the American Bank Center in Corpus or AT&T Stadium in Arlington. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I mean, that's the goal right there. But if I had the 150 people that were there at my gig screaming my shit like that, that's awesome as well. You know what I mean?
I feel that, dude. I definitely feel that because I've been in a room with 50 people, and
Hmm.
when they vibe to your music, that is a crazy feeling.
For
And it's
sure.
only 50. Imagine like a stadium.
For sure.
I can only imagine the nerves of that.
But yeah, like touring around the States, bro, or maybe even around the world. You know what I mean? Just playing music and, you know what I mean? Just having my own family, you know what I mean? Wife and kids, you know what I mean? And being able to, like, whenever they wanted to come to any gig, just be like, yo, let's go. You know what I mean? And like, that's probably the goal. You know what I mean? To have like, to just be good. You know what I mean? Just be good in the country music and people know my name and people like appreciate my music. And it's slowly starting to happen. You know what I mean? Like how I said earlier, like my favorite country singer right now, his name's Colby Cooper. I've been following him since I was 16 years old. And I would always text him like growing up, like, hey, you're going to know who I am one of these days. Like you're going to know who I am, like with my country music and everything. And it's crazy because like a few months ago, he played at Brewster Street and like he knew who I was. He kind of like said what's up on stage and everything. And he let me go on stage and like sing with him. And after I sang with him and everything, I went backstage with him and I told him, I was like, hey, so I want to play for you. I want to play like 2 or 3 songs, and I want this to be like my audition type deal. You know what I mean? And whenever I release music, and I want to send it to you, and because I want to open up for you one of these days. And he was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. We're just there chilling. I sang like 3 of my original songs, and he really enjoyed them. He was like, bro, all you gotta do is release music and send it to my team. Like we can't just like have you go on stage like without anything released type deal. He's like, so the second you release music, just send it to me. And it's crazy because we saw them again in at Brewster Street probably about like a month ago or like a few weeks ago. And like he remembered who I was and everything like that. And like the opener, everything was like, hey, like you're mad, bro. Like, hey, let's go backstage, bro. Like we're all chilling back there. And like it's crazy because like these guys like started off as like my favorite country singer and they still are. But now they kind of know who I am. And like I wouldn't say that we're homies, but like we're cool. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like there's a collaboration gonna happen in the future then?
Oh, dude, that would be great. That's a bucket list right there, bro. Like bucket list thing is to definitely have a song with Kobe Cooper or to be in a song with Kobe Cooper. You know what I mean? Like that's dope. Like they have this company that they're signed with. It's called Floating Leaf Entertainment, and there's only 5 people that are signed with them. It's Logan Yankee, Kobe Cooper, Dylan Wheeler, Picos and the Rooftops, and Coetzel. Whenever we release this music, I told my manager that I want them like to hit them up and see if they, yeah, I mean, would if I could be a part of the team type deal. Yeah, I mean, that would be so dope. Yeah, I mean, that's yeah, honestly, if I could snap my fingers in the next 5 years, that would probably be it. You know, I mean, working with Floating Leaf Entertainment, being able to tour with some of my favorite country singers that sing the exact same music that I do, like that's probably the goal right there within the next 5 years.
That's dope, man. And I'm kind of curious though, as an artist, and especially because you have this line of success happening where you're getting close to about maybe potentially a record deal. You know what I mean? It could
Hmm.
happen within the next year or two. Do you feel like maintaining friendships is going to be difficult once you get to that point, or creating friendships, so to say?
Maintaining friendships, no, just because I mean, I've always grown up like with my mom and my grandpa always telling me like doesn't matter how big you make it, like stay humble because like my grandpa's told me that he had a big ego at one time and he saw that how it literally crumbled right in front of his eyes. You know what I mean? And like I it's not creating friendship. I would say that I'm a pretty good person. I'm a pretty easy person to talk to. I'm kind of like tapped in on a little bit of everything. Like, so if like someone wants to have a conversation about this, I'm an easy person to conversate with. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that creating friends would be hard. It's just kind of like the nerves, kind of like, oh, like say if it's like a big country singer, you know what I mean? I want to go say hi to him. It's kind of like, all right, man, like you're gonna go over there, you're gonna act like you're not gonna fanboy, you know what I mean? You're gonna act cool and like, okay, let's go. You know what I mean? Like talk yourself up type deal. Like I would say that that's probably be like the hardest part about creating like new friends, like with people that are way bigger than I.
I feel that because right now I'm in that phase where the podcast is doing pretty decent,
Hmm.
and out of nowhere, I've been getting people that I haven't talked to ever or haven't talked to in almost a decade, pretty much.
Hmm.
And they're quick to say like, "Oh, bro," and I'm like, I don't know about all that because where have you been, and why are you only popping up now?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
for sure.
Because for a few years, I kind of disappeared off socials. Like I wasn't doing music, I wasn't doing content of any kind. I was just, kind of just in the void. And now that I'm doing stuff again, that's when people want to come and support and check out and try to build a friendship. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem genuine to me.
Dude, I feel that so much, dude, because just like I was telling you, like being bullied and stuff like that, like it's crazy the people that would talk stuff to you and like the people that would make fun of me, make fun of like my white spots and like the spots in the back of my head and stuff like that. Like those are the people that like I like literally like I wouldn't say wanted me like to you know what I mean, like to do like to end my life or anything like that, but like it put me in a dark spot for a long time. Yeah, I mean. And like it's crazy that like now that like I'm doing like this country music and I'm starting to somewhat make a name for myself, like these people are like, "Hey man, like you remember me, dog? Like it like long time no see, like it's good." And like a part of me just kind of wants to be like, "Hey bro, like you don't remember, dude? Like you really don't remember? Like all the times that you like make fun of me, like calling me like a cancer kid because of the white spots on my face and my head and all this stuff. Like you really don't like you think that like we're cool like after that? Like that's crazy. You know what I mean? But then at the end of the day, I just kind of not let the anger kind of get like take over and I'm just like, "Hey bro, like what you doing? Like long time no see." I could tell that like, yeah, it's not genuine for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely something that even if y'all were kids, you know what I mean, as adults now, you should be able to be man enough or adult enough to confront that issue. But
Yeah.
there's no way they forgot, bro.
Yeah,
There's
we're
no.
teenagers, dog. We're 14, 15, 16. Like it was literally
Yeah.
like that period of time. Like those 3 years like were not shitty, I would say, but like they were tough. You know what I mean? Definitely.
Yeah, and I've been on both sides of that spectrum. I've been bullied and I have bullied people before
Mhm.
because when you get bullied, you kind of just don't want to be bullied ever again.
For sure.
There's two types of people. And there's people that will deal with it
Mhm.
and they will never retaliate. And then there's people who end up becoming the problem to avoid being the victim. So I ended up becoming the problem because to me it was like, well, I rather bully than get bullied. Fuck it. And there's been people I've come across in my adulthood in the last 5 years that I've seen, and like I've messaged them or I've confronted them in person if I see them at a store, and I tell them like, "Hey, bro, like that's my bad." You know what I mean? I was going through this. It's not an excuse. I'm just letting you know it was never personal. It's just that was my way of coping.
For sure.
Unfortunately, you had to have been the shit end of the stick for that. And 9 times out of 10, completely like, "Oh, cool, bro, like, I appreciate that." There's only been, like, one person that accepted my apology, but then just told me, like, "Well, we're good where we're at." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Hey, that's perfectly fine, as long as you know that I'm not going through my life not thinking about that stuff." Because that is pretty shitty to do to people.
For sure.
Even if we're kids, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta own up to shit because you still did it.
Mhm.
And thing is, like you said, that shit leaves an impact. There's no expiration on that. Some people hold on to that shit, bro, till they go to the grave.
For
So
sure.
I always feel like it's important when you do someone wrong or you do something that is wrong, always just address it, whether it's gonna go in your favor or not.
For sure. And
But
honestly, it's just I use it as fuel, you know what I mean? Right now it's just fuel to my fire and it just like people well, not no more, honestly. A lot of people show hella love. You know what I mean? A lot of people show hella love to me. I don't know if it's because of everything that's happening or if it's because like they actually do and like they're starting to realize like I'm serious about this. But like it ain't like that no more. Like people show hella love to me and but like it's dope. You know what I mean? It's dope how the world comes around. You know what I mean? Like I went through I guess like all the like how you said trials and tribulations and now it's my turn to win. You know what I mean? It's my turn to win and I won't stop until I win.
it's a fact that if you work towards something every single day, eventually you will achieve it.
Hmm.
I've never met anyone that didn't work towards something every single day and just never got anywhere close to it.
For sure.
So I am completely proud of you, bro, for never giving up, never losing your path, and just chasing that dream, bro. Because that's the thing is dreams are just thoughts that you have while you're asleep that your brain computes into an image. So they call it a dream. But literally, it's just a thought, and if you can connect that to a deeper level, it's just manifestation.
For sure.
It's you visualizing what could potentially be your future. So it's not impossible, bro, because in today's world, it is so accessible for anyone to put out what they do. You can have nothing, bro. Like even this podcast, I was doing this shit off my iPad for a while. I was doing it off a laptop. I did it off a fucking PC that was over 10 years old. You don't need anything fancy, bro. You
Oh
don't.
yeah, for sure.
If you want to do anything in this world, it's not hard. My first guest, his name's Jay Glizzy. He does music and he does it off his cell phone.
Say Jay
Legit.
Glizzy?
Yeah, his name's Jake Lizzy.
That's
Fucking
hard.
hilarious.
That's hard, bro. That's hard.
Yeah, I worked with him at a sales job, and that's how we met. And dude, he literally records off his cell phone, and he has literally songs that have over 100,000 plays on Spotify.
Shoot.
And he's just barely now getting into a recording studio. And it's not even like a real studio you go to. It's one
Like
of
a
those
home
home
studio.
studios that you and your homies do. But it took him to this point to get in a studio of any kind. And he was already having success off a cell phone recording.
Hmm.
Like, can you imagine that? You turned a cell phone recording off Apple wired headphones into a song and the shit smacks for people. Like, people are playing that
Yeah, you're gonna go
all over the
crazy in the
world.
studio for
Yeah,
sure.
bro. Like
That's
my
crazy.
first time going to a studio, I could not fathom what the hell I was doing, bro. It's a whole different vibe. And I recommend any artist to at least go to a real studio at least one time. That
Heck
way
yeah,
you can understand there's levels to this shit.
dude. And studios are dope, bro. Like I have like a home studio here, but I don't know how to use it. Yeah, I mean, one Christmas I asked my mom and my brother like, hey, like I want to learn how to produce one of these days. You know what I mean? And that Christmas they bought me this Mac that I'm doing this podcast on. They bought me like a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? And dude, it's hard, bro. This stuff is hard. You know what I mean? But like seeing like this like little home studio and then going to an actual studio, like it's crazy, bro. And like the rules in studios are so dope. You know what I mean? Like whenever it was time for me like to record, like my voice and stuff, I was like hella nervous. And my uncle Albert does conjunto music with I think the band's name is Nuevo Oro. And he says every time that he records, like he like turns the light off, does whatever he needs to. And I was hella nervous, dude, whenever I went to go record that first time. I was like 16, 17. So I was like, hey, do you mind turning off the lights? Turned off the lights and it was pitch black in there. And then I also told like my mom and my grandpa, like, hey, can you like step out of the room for a little bit? Boom, I recorded and I just felt like comfortable, you know what I mean? Because I felt like nobody was looking at me. It was dark, you know what I mean? And he was just like, just let me know when you're ready. And then he just hit record and boom, we just went for it. And I just felt so now every time that like I do recordings and stuff like that, I have the lights off and it's just me by myself in a dark room. You know what I mean?
I feel that, dude. We are at the hour mark, so I was kind of curious. Do you want to do a song for the podcast, or are you good where you're at?
Shoot. Let me see if I can maybe move the mic to the Mac and then maybe I could do it real quick. Alrighty, bro. So I'm gonna play a little snippet of a song that I wrote in Nashville, Tennessee. This is one of the songs I'm gonna go up and record next month. This one's called "The Only Drug," and just like I was saying earlier, this is kind of about how her love's the only drug that gets you high, and you've been trying to find the same kind of high. You just can't find it, you know what I mean? Because her love's the only drug that gets you high. You know what I mean? This little story about it. This lonely road that I've got up ahead, standing back as lonely as my bed. Day you left, you told me where to go. Hell, sometimes I feel like I'm blood. I tried nicotine, it fed me. Damn, my heart still hurts. Cookie, Mary Jane, the same sweat. Handle after handle, and nothing gets me back. 'Cause your love's the only drug. Yeah, your love's the only drug. Yeah, your love's the only drug. Gets me high. That was fucking dope, brother.
Heck yeah, bro. Appreciate
I'm
that.
not even a country dude. That shit was hard.
Hell yeah.
Because cocaine's one hell of a drug. If that's not doing it, god damn.
Well, I always tell people before I sing the song, I don't do drugs, guys. And it's for the podcast. I do not do drugs, but I do smoke weed. That's a totally different thing, okay? Totally different thing.
I went to rehab, bro. I used to do all that shit. I'll tell you right now. If her love's stronger than all that, Lord bless.
Yeah, dude. Hell yeah, bro. That's that sad song we wrote over there in Nashville, and it was pretty dope, bro. Because I told Mr. Alex, the one that helped me write the music, I said I have a hard time writing fast paced songs, but whenever it's time for me to write the heartbreak song, I said that's whenever it's my turn to cook. You know what I mean? Like that's whenever
For sure.
like I'm gonna do my thing and stuff. So the second day he was like, you know what? I'm very curious. So we're gonna write that second song, and the second song is gonna be the heartbreak song, and I'm gonna let you take full reins of it. I was like, heck yeah, let's do it, bro. So I just started writing, and whenever I'd come to like a little bit of writer's block, like he would just have the craziest freaking lines. Like whenever I was trying to find a chorus for that, I did. I said, I don't know how I'm gonna start off the chorus, but I know that I want to say handle after handle, nothing gets me by, but her love's the only drug that gets me high. And he was like, well, since we're talking about like drugs and stuff like that, let's do, I tried nicotine, I tried amphetamine, but damn, my heart still hurts. And he was like, and you've tried cocaine and Mary Jane and nothing seems to work. And he was like, I was like, bro, what? I was like, that's wild. How do you even freaking
Bars.
think of that? And so we just wrote it down, and it literally just flowed, bro. It was so dope. Like this guy, like I came with an idea and he would just turn it into a reality. You know what I mean? Like this guy was a magician with writing music.
That's dope, man. That is so dope. And it's cool to actually work with professionals, man, because when you get to that little part, you're like, damn, like I know what I'm trying to do. I just need to find out how I'm gonna do it.
For
They just
sure.
make it look so effortlessly, bro.
Heck yeah. And it's a small freaking world because whenever because he was asking what kind of country singers I listen to and everything. And I told him, I said, Colby Cooper, Treaty Oak Revival, Giovanni and the Hired Guns. He was like, I've never heard of any of those guys, Bubba. And I was like, well, I guess we're going to be listening to music for about 30 minutes because I'm going to put you on. So we listened to like 30 minutes of like that type of music. And whenever I put Colby Cooper on, I said, this is my favorite country singer. One guy that I idolize a lot. His name's Colby Cooper. And I played the song and he said like the first two words and he paused it. He was like, you know, my buddy writes all of this guy's songs, right? I said, what? He's like, yeah, my buddy Jordan Walker. And like he just like he was like, yeah, this guy. So this is my good buddy right here. And he showed me all these pictures. He was just with him like the weekend before we were there, like, and he writes all of like my favorite country singer songs. And I was like, dude, what? He was like, the next time that you see Colby Cooper, tell him that your friend or that you're good buddies with someone that knows your songwriter. And whenever I went to tell him, he was like, shoot, like, you know, Alex and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, what the heck? Like, this is a small freaking world. Like, this guy's a East Texas country singer. You know what I mean? Knowing the same people that I know in Nashville. That's crazy.
Yeah, bro. When you're all connected to the same industry, I mean, it's easy to get intertwined together.
Heck yeah, bro.
My camera just went off for some reason. That is funny.
That is wild.
Well, shit, bro. I don't know what happened here with my freaking camera, but I don't know what the hell happened here.
That's crazy, bro.
So I guess what we'll do, this is a first time reoccurrence. We're gonna have you give us a segue out of here, man.
Alrighty, bro. So, like, once again, guys, my name is Matt Rodd, 23 out of Alice. Honestly, the last thing that I guess I want to say is God is good. You know what I mean? God is good. If you have a dream out there, it doesn't matter if you're 13, it doesn't matter if you're older than I am. You know what I mean? If you have a dream out there, don't ever stop. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. You know what I mean? Because I've been told time and time and time and time again that I would not be what I'm doing at the moment. And I'm not saying that I'm doing the craziest stuff right now, but I would have never thought that. Like, I imagined it getting to this point, but I never really would have thought that reality would have came in, yeah, like with that as well. You know what I mean? God is good. He answers a bunch of prayers. Whatever you do it for the love of it. You know what I mean? I've played with this guy before, and he told me that he toured with Willie Nelson, and he was getting high with Willie one day, and he had told Willie Nelson, where's the money? I want to get paid. And Willie Nelson didn't pay him that night because he said, once you start doing it for the money, that's whenever God walks out the door and the devil takes over. You know what I mean? We do this for the love of the music, and the money's just icing on the cake. So whatever you do it with all your heart, guys. Your dreams, push that with everything that you got. I'm gonna be going to Nashville next month, and I'm gonna be doing some crazy things out there. Y'all stay tapped in, okay? Matt Rodd Country. That's 2 T's and 2 D's, okay? I'll see y'all guys later. Adrian, you got something else to say, bro?
No, that is all, man. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Matt Rodd. Y'all take care.
Peace.